This is our Wealth and Leadership series. I'll tell you a little bit about what we do. We like to kind of do something on a monthly basis. We feature somebody who's like a super rock star, super amazing, something that's incredible in terms of the value that you can get, in terms of some of the things that you can learn, something you can take away. Hi from Anna. Hi everybody. So this month we have a super special guest. This is going out on Facebook. So anybody out there in Facebook world who's watching this and wondering like, what's this about? This is about commercial real estate. So all of us know that in our industry, it's been a little bit challenging because of the inventory, right? In terms of residential sales. So, we don't have enough listings, on the market out there for the number of buyers that we have. And so getting an offer accepted has been a challenge for those of you that work with buyers. Finding more inventory, has been a little bit of a harder work because, again, of the market, right? And so one of the things that I thought, wow, I had a chance to meet Stephanie about 2-3 weeks ago at an event that we had in San Diego for a lot of the top agents in the company. And she was featured as one of the speakers. Now, I had heard rumors about Stephanie in the past. I was like, oh my gosh, if you haven't heard her speak, oh my goodness, she's like one of the most incredible women. I was staring at her in a room and I was like, how do I know her? And I think I didn't know her. I just think I'm supposed to know her. And I'll tell you what I learned. Once I heard her speak, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited about the opportunity to be able to really expand. EXP Realty has been like making waves in the residential side. I joined 4 years ago. There were 6,000 agents. Now there's over 80,000. We've grown with over 70,000 individuals in the last 4 years. That's pretty incredible. And we'll probably hit about over 100,000 this year in terms of growth. Why are we growing so much? Why are we growing so fast? Well, it's because there's so much opportunity. It's kind of like when you get in on like right now we have everybody making reservations for their vehicles, right? Because they're not available. And so like, man, like those of you got in early on that, like you've got your super nice cars or anything like that. Like it's a first mover's advantage. The first people who kind of come to the table, they kind of get the lion's share of the opportunity. So the opportunity is still very, very fresh with EXP Realty. And what's super amazing and incredible is that the commercial space is just getting started. Like this is like, oh my gosh, VIP information. Like, let me get in there and, create my wealth bucket, create that opportunity and be able to really service that side of the business that we often ignore in residential, right? We come across a customer, we know that they own their own business, and we talk to them about buying and selling their home and all that good stuff, and that's kind of where the conversation ends. Well, the wonderful thing is that one of the opportunities that has evolved in EXP Realty is the entire new corporation, which is EXP Commercial. And in EXP Commercial, they're doing things right. They're not kind of putting a sticker, that says commercial and saying, okay, now we're doing commercial sales too. No, it's an entire new corporation that is a partner. It's a sister. It's part of the same company, but a different entity. And the mission, as I understood it, and I don't want to take away what you're going to say, Stephanie, but I want to speak from the end user perspective where, if I want to compete with like one of those Cushman & Wakefield or some of those big companies, like, I really want to be able to learn and know what they know and or speak to somebody who's approachable, right? Someone who's actually going to take the time to say, hey, you know what? I'll work with you on this deal, or I can help you learn, or hey, I'll give you the path. And, I'm not going to take, your last child, for the education I'm going to give you. So what I want to share, what we're here to learn is there is a huge space of opportunity, especially in our, condensed market right now. There's a huge opportunity to work with the same clients you're working with and have the commercial real estate conversation, talk to them about their shops, their stores, their businesses, their warehouses, their buildings, whatever it is. And then now we have that portal, that connection with the company, with mentors, with, like everything that you need We are now able to really diversify a little bit, partner up. And those of you who specialize in commercial real estate, well, like, get ready to get your mind blown. So I said a whole lot of stuff. Happy Rev Share Day for anybody who's out there in EXP world, because, you know, every month we all participate in the growth, not just in spirit, but also financially. So hopefully you guys have a great dinner this weekend on EXP. And without further ado, the powerhouse, the super like amazing woman here that you see on the screen, Stephanie Gilezan. Hope I said that right. Gilezan,
You
right?
did. Yeah.
And she is, you know, she is incredible. Her accomplishments in the commercial space are, you know, just like layer upon layer upon layer. Along with all of the accomplishments in the commercial space, what I feel very what I really love about Stephanie is her passion for, you know, creating opportunity for agents, because she had her set of challenges when she entered the business. And now she's like, hey, I'm blowing the roof off of this, you know, opportunity, and I'm bringing it to everybody. So watch out, here I come. So with all that being said, Stephanie, welcome, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Rosie. And, you know, you're a powerhouse as well. Your excitement, your passion, your drive, just you as a leader is tremendous. I mean, you're infectious. And so it's great that you do this and arrange this. And, you know, more of us need to do this. But, you know, you're right. I want to share a little bit about, you know, how I got into commercial real estate. And it all goes back to way back in 1999 when I was in college. And I was actually working on counties in the state of Kentucky that didn't sell alcohol, right? And why they weren't flourishing and they were dry, and really looking at how we could bring in new development into these communities, and we did. And that's what got me interested in real estate. I was on this path of a political science degree and going to probably end up in law school, but basically fell in love with the development aspect and bringing business and industry in. And, you know, when I got my real estate license, even before I graduated college, what I was faced with is I had to find a brokerage. Well, I looked at all the brokerages that were specializing in commercial real estate, and I got kicked in the mouth. I mean, I literally got kicked in the mouth because I walked into these offices and I said, look, you know, I'm getting ready to graduate college. This is what I know. I've got my real estate license and this is what I want to do. And I had never been so shocked at the aspect of they just said no. They literally looked at me like I was some alien that had no idea what I wanted, even though I even had my business plan laid out. But I wasn't given that opportunity. And so I had to fumble to get started in commercial. I had to learn the hard way, you know, and because of that, it took me a lot longer to get to the success that I am now. And so I always said, if I ever get a platform one day that I could make a difference, that's what I want to focus my efforts on. And lo and behold, you know, 4 years ago, EXP finds me and I bring my entire brokerage over to EXP Realty. We weren't built for commercial, but I saw the model and I knew that I could make it work. And I knew that maybe one day I would get a bigger opportunity, which would be to launch the disruption of the commercial industry. And fast forward last year, that's exactly what we did. We have launched an EXP commercial brokerage. We're in all 50 states. Jim Wong, our president, who is of Asian descent, and like me, you know, being this 21-year-old female that got into the business, he was young as well. He was Asian and he was hit with those same challenges. So together, he and I both shared this passion and this drive for the commercial industry needs a change. It's been happening on the residential side for a long time. Let's be the ones that change it on the commercial side. Let's develop the right education and training so that people can enter into this business at any age, in any state, in any tertiary or high metropolitan area, and have the right tools and development to be successful in the commercial industry. And that's exactly what we're doing, Rosie. And, you know, We haven't even really had a full year of operation, but we are already ranked number 11 when it comes to commercial brokerages worldwide in size. And we are already changing the way this industry looks. And that's what I'm so pleased about, because EXP Commercial, yeah, we've got what you typically see in the commercial industry, but we've got all colors, we've got all ages, and we've got all races. And I love that about this company. So thanks for having me and giving me this platform today.
I was muted. Okay, one of the things that I guess is just kind of exciting. It's really exciting. In your story, Stephanie, like you were, I didn't realize this. You were only 21 years old when you got into the space, and you were just like knocking on doors, and just
cold calling.
Cute little blonde lady, and nobody would take you seriously, right? You're just
yeah.
like, let me in the door, and they wouldn't let you in the door, so you created your own door. So I just want to acknowledge you for that, because I think that's awesome. Sometimes there's certain markets or certain industries that they're just tough to get into, and I've always heard that about commercial, that it's so hard to get in. You're gonna come in, you're gonna be a grunt, you're gonna get no training, you're gonna get like nothing. The only thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get a list and a phone, and like when you get a live one, just send them over, and I'm not gonna really teach you anything until you kind of prove yourself 4 years later. Then when you do, then we're going to take the firstborn child for every transaction, right? So that's kind of what I've heard, and I'm not in that space personally, but I have friends, right? So when I hear about, like, all right, we have all shapes and colors, we're diverse, we're aggressive, we're truly a commercial brand, and we have all the tools and the resources for commercial, and we're already number 11 in like a year or less than a year, whatever it is. I can't help but like thinking like, okay, what are some of the reasons, what are some of the reasons that like the commercial space is so like hard to get into? Why don't people let us in? And then how does EXP Commercial look different, feel different? For one, let's talk about the typical, commercial broker. Like I work for Cushwake, and I'm looking for EXP Commercial. Why am I interested in EXP Commercial as opposed to this company's been around 50, 100 years, whatever? And then two, how does it look different for typical agent? We've got Alma in the room, or Dahlia or Diana, and they're like, well, like, how do I get involved? So those are the two questions.
Absolutely. So, us compared to whatever brand out there is, these are dinosaur brands. They've been around a very long time. And so they haven't had to pivot and change their model to be competitive. So number one, the agent or broker at those brands is paying a lot of money to that brokerage. On average, 50-50 split, maybe 60-40. And as you know, from being at EXP Realty, we're an 80-20 split with a cap. At EXP Commercial, it's very easy for me to get on a call with a Cushwake or a Colliers or an NAI or any of those, because the first question I ask them is, okay, Mark, what'd you pay your brokerage last year? And I hear 76,000, I hear 212,000, I hear 480,000. I heard a team pay 4.8 million. And I'm like, oh my gosh, with us, you're never going to pay us more than 20K. They're like, what? I mean, to them, they don't even understand that phrase of a cap. And what we figured out a long time ago at EXP Realty, thanks to Glenn Sanford, is that you don't need to keep all the money. If you have enough money to operate and enable all of your agents to be shareholders, which are business owners, the business will grow and it will flourish and it will be profitable. And so when you take that same exact concept and apply it to commercial real estate, it absolutely can happen. And then when I say, okay, some of them will say, well, but you're not a proven brand yet. Well, here's what we are. We are owned by a publicly traded company with a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar market cap with absolutely no debt. We're operating in all 50 states and 20 countries, and soon to be 50 countries, right? We are expanding the blueprint. And here's what else we are. We have this sister company of EXP Realty with over 80,000 residential agents who may or may not want to know about commercial real estate. But when they're selling $135 billion worth of houses, We teach them to go ask those same clients, hey, Dr. Smith or John, do you have a commercial need or do you have a business need? Because us doing that, Rosie, created over $9 billion worth of referral volume from our sister and brothers at EXP Realty right over to EXP Commercial. We have agents throughout California, Florida, you name it, all over, who have 5 times their business in a matter of 6 weeks joining EXP Commercial. We have agents that have 10 times their business. We have a junior agent because our training is so good. A junior agent. Junior agent is brand new to the commercial industry. Spent 18 months at a boutique brokerage, because a lot of commercial is made up of independent boutique brokerages. Well, they don't have any tools and they don't have any training. It's very difficult for them because it's a lot of money. It's a lot of overhead. When I brought my brokerage over to EXP, I saved $143,000 right off the top in overhead, because the buying power that we have, we're able to go out and get the better products for a whole lot less money. And so we've got a junior agent that used to be at one of those boutique brokerages that spent 18 months making zero. And when he'd go to his broker or other colleagues at the firm, they go, look, it takes 2 to 3 years to make money in commercial real estate. No, it doesn't. Not if you have the right tools and the right training. And so Ricky comes to EXP Commercial, and within 30 days, he landed 42 deals, 311 million in volume. He is a millionaire. In 6 weeks' time, he became a millionaire. So that's what I'm saying when we're doing a disruption. We're making it happen, because the bar could have been changed a long time ago. It's just commercial industry looks at the brokerage as being the player. The agents down here, it's the brokerage that matters. Agents down here. Well, in our model, agents up here, brokerage is down here. We are facilitating a way to be successful and to do business in this industry, and giving the agent the accolades, giving the agent more money. I mean, look at what's happening with the economy. Look at the inflation. Look at everything that's happening. Isn't it now the time that agents decide that they have more income, that they're able to build multiple streams of revenue? That's what we're doing. And that's why we officially are the fastest growing commercial brokerage to ever launch in history.
You touch, every time you say something, Stephanie, honestly, like, I get excited because there's so many points that you hit that, I hope you guys are getting as much value as I am. One of the things that comes to me is like commercial real estate, as you're explaining it, and as I've, come across, it's almost like residential real estate was like 70 years ago or 50 years ago or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Right. We're like, okay, we're the big brand company, you're the agent, we have all this tools and training, and we're the company, you need us. And the way that the financial model has always been very, very beneficial to the brokerage, big company, the big boys, right?
Right.
So it's almost like nobody's ever sat and said, hey, you know what? We're going to be a commercial brokerage. We're going to do it right. But we're going to put the agent on top, right?
Right.
We're going to like fast forward 100 years into what residential has figured out many years ago, where the agent is really the one who's bringing the business. And we're just going to, do the same thing. Get the agent in there. It's your business, your contacts, your relationship. We at EXP are going to be supporting you. And,
right.
So that's one thing that it's just like, man, I feel like we're going like back in time and into the future in just like 1 year, boom, here we are. The other thing that I would imagine people out there in commercial who have this experience might be thinking, well, like, you're kind of a residential, group. And again, we've already addressed that we're not. But tell me what a commercial real estate company has that is different than a residential agent who just, has their MLSP and, their WIN forms and stuff like that. What's different? What's necessary to operate a commercial company at a high level, tools, resources, that space. Tell us more about that.
Absolutely. And in commercial real estate, like you said, in residential, you'll have the MLS. You're able to log in, see everything that's happening in your market. In commercial, it's very difficult because commercial real estate is not done through the MLS. It's done in all these different platforms. It's very hard to find the information. So we knew in order to be extremely successful that we had to have access to data. And we are the first brokerage as well. We're going to have a lot of firsts with this company, okay? We're the first brokerage to invest in owning our own data. And so basically, one of the first things we did was we have built an entire database system. It's called EXP Enriched Data. It gives our agents and brokers with EXP Commercial access to over 277 million property records. And when I say property records, it's just not the tax and parcel ID. We're talking about the liens on that property. We're talking about if they're in any deficiency with the lender. We're talking about building permit records. We're talking about the ways to do valuation, owner vetted information, all the portfolios that owner owns as well across the United States. But we also built an algorithm inside of this data to where our agents and brokers can do a broker price opinion in minutes. I demoed this just the other day. I was up in New York this week for Inman with a lot of great, amazing people. What a great opportunity and time. And so I'm not from New York City, but I was able to walk out front of our hotel. We were at the Hilton Midtown, and right across the street was this massive tower. I typed in the address, and I was able to do a valuation on that high rise in less than 8 minutes. Everything pulled up on the property. I saw what debt was owed. I saw what they purchased it for. I saw how many times they've refinanced it. I saw their rent rolls. I saw their vacancy rates. I was able to come up with a valuation that literally looked like I spent 3 days working on it. And prior to our platform, I used to have to do these, and it would take sometimes 3 days because I'd have to log into many different platforms in order to pull all of that information and bring it. But this showed me the comps. It expanded upon, all the different comps that I could choose from. I could manipulate it if I needed to up that cap rate. This is the power of commercial real estate. And most people, when I explain this to them, they always go back to saying, oh, well, I have CoStar. No. That's 12 million property records. I started out this with telling you how many property records we have, 277 million. We update this to 10 million property records every week because that's how much is transferring in the United States. It's in real time. We're not waiting for some call center to call brokers around the country and ask them what they sold or leased something for. We are purchasing this through 38 different sources, bringing it all into one so it makes it easy. Part of the reason why commercial brokers and agents feel like paying 50% to their brokerage and that's okay is because they have analysts on staff. They have these researchers. Well, those are just people doing all that legwork. We don't need all those people to do the legwork because we built a system that does it. And it's way better than what any analyst could put together. And so that's number one, having the right tools and having the right access to things, along with being able to, I'll never forget this conversation. Mark Allen, massive player in Dallas, Texas. We brought his entire team over. The brand that he was with, one of the ones that you named earlier in the call, basically they all walked out of the office. And so I think they got maybe like the managing broker and the lady that does the marketing left, okay? And they're all here at EXP Commercial. The first time I ever had a conversation with him, and he told me what he paid to his brokerage last year, which was 7 figures in the millions. I said, why? He said, well, I've got a lady that does my marketing. Well, we built a system that does that. It creates the offering memorandums. It creates the proposals. It does the site plans. It does the analytics. It's pushing a few buttons.
Okay. But how good is it, Stephanie?
It's amazing. It's built out. And here's what's so funny about it, Rosie, is that and this is a smart ass moment, okay, that I'm going to tell you about, but it happens almost daily. I'm speaking to this gentleman. Mark Allen was one, but there's been several others. And I said, go ask the lady in your office, what system is she using to build your proposals and your OMs, your offering memorandums? So he does. He only did it because I asked him to. I said, and if she tells you it's Build Out Elite, that's what we're going to give you. He comes back to the phone. He goes, you're right. It's Build Out Elite. It's clicking buttons. They're not spending hours doing that. If you utilize technology, and that's the problem, Rosie, commercials never utilize technology to the extent residential has. They've never utilized it to lead generate. They've never really embraced CRMs. Some have, but most don't. And then I speak to a lot of people who are like, but I don't know how to work any of this. Well, we provide the training. And if you don't want to do it, that's okay, because we have transaction coordinators that you can just pay to do it for a couple $100, a deal. So we've solved the heavy lifts that keep brokers paying 50%. I was just on a call this morning. Brokers paid since January 1. What is today? April 22nd. Rev Share Day. Love Rev Share Day. It's April 22nd. Since January 1, he's paid his brokerage $103,000. Can't you get a virtual assistant for like $8 an hour? Like literally, like I've never paid an administrative assistant $103,000 a year. You can get a great one, and I've got a great one for $60K a year. She's a marketing director as well, and she does all of my stuff, but she's $60 a year. I'd much rather do that because he's January 1 to April 22nd, and he's already paid him $103,000 because she knows how to click the buttons and build out. So these are why I spend a lot of time having the conversations and asking those questions, because the problems are easy to solve because we've made them easy to solve here at EXP Commercial. But when they're speaking to their friends and their other relationships in the commercial industry, they all share those heartaches. And that's why they believe that that's the best model, because the brokerage is providing them people to make their stuff.
So again, going back in time where before, the broker had the resources, right?
Right.
The broker in residential, they owned, like, I wasn't around, but I heard that there's a big book you had to buy or subscribe to every month, and look, or they had the software, whatever it was, but way back when. And so you had to, pay these fees because they had the data, they had the resource, right?
Yes.
And so now in commercial, it's very much been the standard where the office provides the admin, the certain software, certain whatnot, and then so because it's kind of expensive, some of these things in commercial are more expensive, people and some of the systems.
Yeah.
Being able to charge a premium and collect a premium on the commissions of the agent, right? Now,
That's right.
it's like, again, back to the future. Now we're here in 2022, right? And it's like, hey, we're selling millions and billions of dollars in real estate. We're just going to package up all the technology because it's out there, right? What EXP did is they packaged up all the resources and now kind of created, and I'm just speaking simple language here. EXP Commercial kind of created the new MLS system for commercial. Like,
Yes.
I don't need the broker anymore to run my comps because I have it here. I don't need the broker to do these things. We're just going to give it to you, right? And we're not going to take, your firstborn child. And now you, the agent, can actually grow your own business because
That's right.
And if you don't like to sit behind a computer, hey, get a good admin, part-time, full-time, whatever you need. And they can do the tools. And by the way, they can also answer your phone or, all the things that you might want an admin to do, right? But you don't have to pay, 50% of your commission, to be able to get access to the resources. We are now giving it to you. And we also have the support, because I know, if you could expand a little bit on this, we also have different, I heard of an advisor or,
yeah.
Tell me more about, inside of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, inside of EXP Commercial, for any junior coming into the business, one, we built the Accelerate program so that they can truly learn the fundamentals and have a foundation in commercial real estate. There's so many different asset classes and product specialties in commercial. It's not just a house, it's not just a condo. It's a lot of different things. So we teach on all of that. And we have experts from all of those fields, that have come from these big boy companies, and and now they're teaching inside of EXP Commercial. But we also supply the junior agents with an advisor that they get to interview a list of, so that they can work together and have that personalized coach, so that they can get to collect that fee. One of the things about this industry, and this is, I said it earlier on the call, that everybody says it takes at least 2 years to make money in commercial real estate. And that's true. That's true when you don't know how to utilize the technology to make it work. So with our technology and the lead generation that comes with that, and the advisor, and these referrals that come from our great friends, sisters and brothers at EXP Realty, we make sure that we're shortening that time frame. It's not going to be 2 years. Rosie, it would take somebody 2 years if they literally sat at home and did nothing, right? So if they plug into what we've built, they will be the next Ricky. 42 deals in 30 days, right? He did it, brand new to this industry. Anybody can do it. It's working, I used to get up back in the day, and I'm going to say back in the day, because I feel like I've, 23 years in this industry, you do feel like after a while, it's like, oh my God, I'm old, aren't I? But, back in the day before there was all this technology, because in 1999, there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, there really wasn't, and I cold called every morning from 8 to 10. I cold called. I didn't know what I was calling, but I figured I'd just ask for business. Oh, I see you own this. And I'd call. Do you want to sell it? Do you want to, whatever. I just constantly kept that up. And that's how I became having, this massive listing portfolios. At any given time, I would have, 30 to 70 listings that were selling. And they were, in industrial, land, retail, all these different spaces, hospitality, restaurants, you name it. And, that's what I did. If I had the systems that we've built today back when I got into this business, we probably wouldn't be on this call. I would probably be on, like Glenn Stearns was on Undercover Billionaire or something, because that's the ability you have here. But, that's everything. You get out of things what you put into it, right? So you still got to put in the time. But we've built a model that is flawless if the agent does their portion of the work.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, when you think about it, in commercial real estate, we're not talking about a $300,000. Typically, we're not talking about a $300,000 transaction. We're talking about millions of dollars, 2, 10, 15, 20, $30 million. So, just like anything, you want to play with the big boys. You got to put on your big boy, big girl pants, and you're going to say, okay, let's go to work and handle these conversations, handle this business, with a certain level of professionalism, which I know is seen more so in the commercial space. But there's a lot of realtors out there that, I've come across that they've got a little bit more of an analytical brain, or they come from even a mortgage background. They understand numbers and whatnot. And so they would fall in very easily, I think, in this junior position. And then those people that really like, my client, I sold him, a home, I'm selling him another one. He has a business, and can I just get, the Stephanies or, people out there.
Right.
And well, we referral on that, right?
We have got, and that's what I tell people. You don't have to, if you're in real estate right now and your residential is your specialty, you do not have to learn commercial. Sometimes it's easier just to create that relationship, right, with a commercial agent or broker and refer it. I mean, I shared these numbers when we were in San Diego. We had a $238,000 referral fee paid to an EXP Realty agent, $58,000, $72,000. We have agents now that have opened up their book of business, called everybody back and said, "Hey, Dr. Smith, I know I sold you that house, but by any chance, do you have any commercial needs? Do you need another office? Are you looking to expand? Just ask the questions and then refer that business to an EXP Commercial, because that's why we've had over 9 billion in referral volume over to us. So, I think that, for me, it was very easy for me to make a decision about why I wanted to be in commercial. I don't like talking about carpet. I don't like talking about wallpaper or staging homes or any of that noise. To me, I'm a business person. I love the numbers. I love, the pure aspect of figuring out the financial model and what the return on investment's going to be. In residential, which I'm a developer. So I do develop single family residential communities because we've needed more housing. And I've got residential agents that work that side of the business, because if I have to go and show something, and I may own it, Rosie, I might have built this house or own the company that's built that house. And when I show it, I'm just like, oh gosh, because it's different. It's so emotional. It's so, it's different. And so that's not a space I've ever enjoyed, but I love the business side of things. And so, you can do things well, or you can do something really great. And I chose to do it great on the side of commercial and let those who enjoy that residential side do that great. And I refer business that way because, that's not my cup of tea. I mean, I have friends in this, all over the place, clients, past clients, you name it. Hey, Steph, my daughter's getting ready to, look for her first house. And I'm like, I will set you up with the person that's going to take care of her, because that not what I'm going to do. I used to tease my husband all the time. He's a commercial broker as well. And I used to say, if you make me mad, I'm going to make you go show houses. Oh, that was like a punishment, right? So it, but you got to really put in the effort and do one great. That's my belief.
So we've got a couple of questions. And again,
yeah,
we're believe it or not, guys, we're like 40 minutes into this, and we're just scratching the surface. So we're going to have you back, Stephanie, because this is so powerful. But let me give you some questions. How can one start in commercial real estate with minimal experience in the industry? What challenges should someone be prepared for?
Well, it's putting in the effort. You got to put in the effort. And, at EXP Commercial, this is why we focus so heavily on our training. So this accelerate program, it's every day of the week. It's Monday through Friday. It starts over every month. It's a 4-week-long course, but it's every single day. You've got to take the time commitment to plug into that course. It's free. It doesn't cost the agents anything. But if you don't plug into it and do the work, you're not going to be successful.
So we have created, just for those guys in the room, we have the degree, right?
Yeah.
You have a degree in commercial real estate. You don't have to pay, $120,000 to go to, USC or whatever. We have a 1-month course. Is there a charge for it?
No, there's not. And you just have to be licensed with the EXP Commercial. We keep it tight to that because this is a lot of work and it's a lot of information. And so we'd rather the classes be intimate.
Okay. So you are an agent who's interested and serious about growing in the commercial space, right? This draws to you, this calls to you. You want to play, in this amazing space. So you would join EXP Realty Commercial. You would sign up for the monthly program, which is daily. It's a serious program. It's not like a hoorah session, Tony Robbins said. No, this is like you're gonna learn. You're gonna show up. It's a course. It's a certification. It's like
you're gonna build your business plan. You're gonna determine what product specialties you really want to specialize in. You don't have to pick one, but you've got to determine. They teach you how to look at the market you're in and look at what the need is, right? And so, but you have to put in that time and you have to put in that effort. There's homework, but you're going to build your business plan as well.
Am I gonna learn how how to talk to someone about,
You are. They're going to go through scripts. They're going to talk about, okay, if you're cold calling, what are you going to say during that cold call, right? They're going to teach the technology that we utilize. They're going to teach how to lead generate. So, that is the entire piece of this that no other brokerage has ever built, which is why we're going to be able to change the way this industry looks.
Okay. I have two questions.
Yeah.
Still questions in the chat room. What are the, let's see, how to become an EXP commercial agent? So I'm speaking from the residential hat. I'm an agent. I'm with EXP Residential, right? And you said you have to be with EXP Commercial. What does it have to be with EXP Commercial? Do I have to move my license?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are a separate brokerage, and here's why. We are not NAR members at EXP Commercial because we don't need the MLS to do business. So it's pointless for us to join all these boards and MLSs, right? And we want to be built for true commercial real estate. So that's why we're a separate brokerage, so that true commercial brokers don't say we're resimercial or a residential company trying to go into commercial. KW did that. KW added the word commercial to their logo and said they're in commercial. That's not true. That's just not the way it works. So we are a separate brokerage. Now, you don't have to just say, okay, I'm doing this today. You could choose to do the NCREA course, which EXP University offers like once a quarter. They just finished doing it a couple weeks ago, and see if it's something that you want to learn. You could immediately, if you're with EXP Realty, start plugging into all the different product specialty meetings and trainings that are going on, which are open to EXP Realty. But they're all on the university calendar, and you can see them all. They've got them categorized as commercial, and just start plugging into those to see if it's something that you really want to do, because then you could then decide to transfer all the way into EXP Commercial, which at that time you would be able to enroll in the Accelerate program.
So here's me thinking about, maybe to answer some of the questions here. If I'm a residential agent, obviously I'm still buying, selling homes, I'm listing properties, but I know I could go back and I could call, my 300 or 50, whatever, the clients in the last 5 years, and I could just reconnect with them and say, hey, I just want you to know that we are now handling, commercial. I can be a resource for that. Somebody said, actually I was thinking about selling my building because my tenants left or whatnot. Wonderful, let me go ahead and let's set up an appointment, and I will have my, my partner who specializes.
Yes.
So I could just kind of partner with someone for a little bit, for a little while.
100% co-broker with an EXP Commercial agent. Absolutely.
I get my feet wet. I can come to some of the classes. I can earn an incredible referral fee of 10, 20,
Right.
50, whatever. And I could watch this process and like, okay, I'm not giving up my business, my residential business yet, but I'd like to partner, on this deal.
Absolutely.
And go through your whole database and you're like, you know what? That's all that came of it. I'm gonna stay in my lane. And I really love the way, commercial agent Bob here handled it. I'm gonna keep working with Bob, right?
Perfect.
Right? Or, man, this is incredible. I love it, right? Let me see if I could stir up. I got 4 or 5 clients right now. I'm really loving this. And so either I decide to partner for a few more transactions, or I say, I really want to kind of shift over here. If I shift over to the commercial side of the world and I say, I'm going in, I'm doing my classes the whole month long, all that stuff. If I do that, what do I do with my residential business? That's a question an agent might have.
You can still do residential transactions at EXP Commercial, but if you are required or necessary to have that MLS, that might be the issue, because not every MLS allows one-off agents to join, right? But as a brokerage, EXP Commercial doesn't want to join all those MLSs so that you can do a residential transaction. But you could also team up with a residential agent and co-broker that deal as well. We have a lot of that happening. We have EXP Realty agents, just like you said, Rosie, called up their book of business, Client wants to sell a commercial building. They partner with a commercial specialist at EXP Commercial. They both go on the listing contract. They both market it together. And the realty agent is taking 50% of the transaction. The commercial agent's taking 50%, and they're doing it together. And they're learning to see if that's what they really want to do. I mean, I think that there is the best way to do it than to go cold hard stop residential, unless you're ready to just refer all that business, because there's going to come a time where, like I said, you can be good at a lot of things, but you can be great when you stay in your lane and really put your effort toward that side of the business.
So I almost look at this for most residential agents that might be there in Facebook world, right? And maybe you're at a company that, traditional residential real estate company, and you would like to kind of grow. You're like, like my business has been here, I can add something. So you would
Right.
want to be residential, put your license here, keep doing your transactions, pay your $16,000 cap, become an icon agent, get that back, whatever it is. You could stay here and do your residential, but now you can add commercial lane to it,
Yeah.
and say, hey, you know what? I want to talk to 3 agents who work in my area or areas, right? And I'm going to talk to them, find out who I think I can kind of connect with, who would like to, work the business and would be willing to train, like maybe one of these advisors, right? To say,
Yeah,
hey,
absolutely.
send it over. And I believe, for anybody who's out there, I believe the best investment you can make is it's not really the money you're after, it's the knowledge. So
Absolutely. Yes.
for me, for a year, handle multiple transactions with your partner, and either keep that partnership in the commercial, our sister, our brother, keep that partnership in line, keep doing what you do, let them do what they do. And, now you have an additional way, an additional stream of income. Or like I said, and after that year is done and you've done 4, 5, 6, 7 transactions, you can make the decision, but from an educated place, from a place of experience, and you also have had like the opportunity to learn. So that's to kind of answer some of the questions. Would you agree, Stephanie?
Absolutely. And I want to add to that, Rosie, because commercial real estate at EXP Commercial, we're not just built for commercial real estate, it's also business brokering. We have specialists that work to sell businesses. So think of how many clients you have that are entrepreneurs that own businesses. Lots of them. When you look at what's happening, how many of y'all have heard about the Great Resignation? It's in the headlines every day, where 4.4 million people quit their corporate jobs in March alone. 4.2 million people quit their jobs in February. 3.8 million quit their jobs in January. Over the last 4 months alone, over 12 million people quit their corporate jobs because they've decided they want to become entrepreneurs. What are they doing? They're looking to open a business. They're looking to buy a franchise. They're looking to, start a restaurant, whatever that case might be. They're getting into that because they've decided that that's the path they want to take. There'll be over $3 trillion worth of businesses bought and sold over the next 3 years. 3 trillion with a T, Rosie, a T. Now, EXP Realty, you can't do that at EXP Realty. You're not insured for it. At EXP Commercial, we are insured. So don't only think about your commercial opportunities with your existing clients, but think about the businesses they may want to buy or sell.
So let me ask you, if I'm with Amber, because obviously, in our group, Stephanie, blessed in 4 years, my group, the group's of 3,000 agents, and there might be other
Wow.
agents listening. So if I I got a deal, like what's the first step? How do I, how do I connect the dots? Do I go on expcommercial.com? How do I find an agent?
Well, yeah, if you go to expcommercial.com/experts, you can find all the EXP Commercial agents. But also, if you're part of EXP already, go on Workplace and join the EXP Commercial Workplace group. And then you can post. I mean, if you start calling your book a business and you find people that want to sell a business or buy something or commercial real estate, start posting there. They will grab it, they will pay you a referral fee, and you can start building that 4th income stream.
And talking about the income streams, so you said 4, and some people out there might be like, what are you talking about? I sell real estate.
Well, hey, at EXP, this is why we have grown exponentially and we're over 80,000 people, because not only do we sell real estate and earn commission, but we get to earn stock in our company. We're all business partners here. As we transact, we earn ownership. We also, like you, Rosie, have built this massive organization of over 3,000 agents. And we said earlier today, it's Rev Share Day. What does that mean? Every month on the 22nd or there around, we get auto deposited our revenue share. So instead of the broker owner being the only one that collects the splits off the agents, we all as agents here at EXP Realty and EXP Commercial get to share in the revenue. And that's why this company has grown. And so that's 3 income streams already. What we're talking about now is adding a 4th one, and it's referral fees between these 2 sister companies of EXP Realty and EXP Commercial.
And we're the only company that has this. Like
It's
really,
it.
when I'm thinking about what you're talking about, there is no commercial platform. And I want to rewind. You know, we have advisors, and the advisors have the benefit of being able to benefit from 80,000 agents that are
Yes.
like, can you help me? It's like,
Yes.
so you know, that's for the commercial people out there who are listening. Like if you're in commercial and you're thinking, how can I grow my business? Well, why don't you plug into 80,000 agents and see what happens, right? Like
Absolutely.
but on the residential side, and when you talk about, you know, the fact that we have the 4 streams, and you mentioned revenue share, and I just want to touch on that because there's been different, you know, different thoughts on that. I just want to help you understand the concept of that. It's almost like you get bonus. You get a bonus every time an agent, you know, closes a transaction. It's not a fancy formula. It's not, you know, this, that, profit, you know, profitability, whatever. It's simple. Stephanie closes a transaction, and hypothetically, if I had invited Stephanie, you know, to the company, when Stephanie closes a transaction, I get a bonus, which equates to usually, you know, a few to several $100s every time. And as long as Stephanie's here, and as long as Stephanie's selling real estate, when the company gets their portion of the commission, $2, $3, $4, $5,000, they're gonna say, hey, here's a couple $100 for you. Thank you so much. Here's a couple $100. So it's like it's a continuous bonus and an infinity pool. And it's almost like, hey, we all get into the business because we want to be able to create wealth. We're talking to people, hey, you should invest your money, you should buy real estate, you know, grow equity, but we don't think about that in our own business. We don't realize that we're actually paying rent every month to whatever broker we're at, and the broker's never going to give us anything back but a really nice, pretty award. Our award comes with stock ownership, and we actually bonus the agent month after month after month. So I think that's incredible. Last thing that I want to add, and I think we have 5 more minutes. I don't know if you have questions, please post them now. We only have about 5 minutes, but I'd like to end on, or I'd like for you to elaborate on, okay, we know what's going on with residential right now. We know the inventory is limited, interest rates are going up. Can you, Stephanie, for the people out there that are interested in finding out, I own a property out there, I actually do have 2 commercial buildings. I would like to know what's happening in the commercial space. And, you know, is it prices going down, going up? Is there a lot of activity? Is there opportunity? Is opportunity gone? Tell me about that space, please.
You know what? It's booming. It's so funny because depending on the market, obviously everybody's a little bit different, but you have so much industry that's being built out there. And so like a part of South Carolina right now, a town of 3,300 people population, there are 2 massive manufacturing facilities being built there, which that booms, right? Because then retail wants to come in, office buildings want to come in. They need to build more housing because they're bringing in more people as their workforce. And so this is happening all over the place. Florida office is the hottest on earth. People are buying it up. Office, and we would think that it wouldn't be because of COVID and so forth. They are buying it up left and right. What they've done and what has transpired out there is all of the industry, whether it's industrial warehouse, office, everything is going for more than what asking price is still. I mean, we've got buildings in Florida that I've witnessed where they've listed them for $795,000 and they sell for $925,000, right? Which is the story you all tell on the residential space. Same thing's happening in commercial. And so it hasn't slowed anything down. It's a great time to get into commercial real estate. Land is another one. But here's what's so funny. And I learned this last week from our economic advisor, Casey Conway. He said, Stephanie, What are the top 3 property types in all of the United States ranked? And I said, well, number 1's residential. That's just a given, right? I mean, it always will be. He goes, yes, but what's number 2? Well, I would have thought it was going to be industrial, but it's not, because there's not enough available. So it would have been number 2, but you can't hardly find a warehouse that's available. So people have to wait and build. Number 2 is retail. Retail is the number 2 property type that is booming all over the United States. Retail. And so things are coming back alive. And so it's a great time. But here's the other thing, Rosie, and I want to point this out because it's so important. I'm going to be headed to SIOR this next week on Sunday, actually, which is the Society of Industrial Office and Retailers. And basically, when I'm there, a lot of these office rep guys, I'm gonna say guys because there's like maybe one other woman, okay, when I go there, but hopefully there'll be more this time. EXP Commercial will have a bunch.
Supporting you all right there.
Yeah. And so these guys come up to me and they're like, your model, we love it, but you don't have office. And I go, yeah, we do. It's a new way of thinking office. We have Verbella. And if you're with EXP Commercial or with EXP Realty for that matter, you can list our Verbella virtual office space for lease, because that's exactly what it is. So think about that for a second. You hear about all this metaverse stuff and all these different sandboxes and all these Hollywood people buying these crazy, ridiculous yachts and houses and plots of land in these online metaverses. Well, as a realtor with Realty or an agent with EXP Commercial, we have the ability to lease as much inventory as we want. Our retail, our office space just happens to also not just be brick and mortar. We have the option of also our online metaverse space through Verbella.
Mm-hmm.
So how impressive is that?
Yeah, I think honestly, I mean, Stephanie, this has been such an incredible eye-opening opportunity. I think one of the things I always share with everyone, and whether you're out there listening and you're just kind of tuning in, you always have to look up. You always have to look up, and you have to see what is out there, what's happening with our market, what are the opportunities. And I am so excited about this opportunity. If you're in residential right now and you want to diversify your business, you need to reach out to whoever invited you to this webinar. Reach out to me if you like. Whatever it is, you have to find out, how am I going to grow, right? How am I going to grow in this space? If you're in commercial and you're thinking, well, I'm paying my broker, I'm on a 60-40 split or a 50-50 split, and maybe one day I'll get to 70% or whatever it is. You need to look at this, because it's not just the fact that we've got a $20,000 cap. We're also giving you and now empowering you with all the tools and the resources, which are like blowing away anything that's been out there, right? We've made the investment to be able to give the commercial agent the tools, and we've got the lead sources, because there's 80,000 residential agents out there who are, looking for your expertise. And I mean, finally, this is, I know I say this, even though I can't believe we're number 11 in like a year, right? Or less than a year. I feel like, first movers advantage is where your mind needs to be right now. How am I going to get connected with EXP Commercial? Residential agents, if you have worked in the past with commercial agents, can they connect them with you, Stephanie? If I've got some,
absolutely, that is what I'm here.
Love him, worked with him before, he sold me something in the past, I can connect them with you. You'll break this down to him, right? I don't need to know everything. I just need to be able to right?
Absolutely. And that's what I'm here to do. I want to grow this company. We're on a mission. I started this with, we're on a mission. We're going to change the way this industry looks, the way it feels, and the way business is conducted. And we're going to make the agent first. That's what this is about. And provide the right tools for them to be successful. So I want as many people as possible to help me with this cause. And let's build the biggest commercial brokerage that this world has ever seen.
Absolutely. Super exciting. Action items, guys. Action items. Oh, by the way, congratulations, 2022 Woman of Influence.
Yes, Globe Street. I won that 2 days ago. So Globe Street, which is kind of the commercial side of Inman, I'm 2022 Woman of Influence for commercial real estate. So very happy about that. It was an award that when I found out I was nominated, I was just happy I was nominated. So to win it, I love it.
That is incredible. Action step for you guys out there. One, go back to your clients, go back to your database and just say, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? How's your business? So that you know, who do you know that might want to buy a building, sell their building, land, have a business, just letting you know I'm your resource. Action item number one. Action item number two, connect with your local commercial partners, your commercial agent, and say, hey, are you open to learning about this commercial opportunity with EXP Commercial? I can connect you to have a one-on-one business conversation. That's action item number two. Action item number three, make sure you guys tune in every month because we have Wealth and Leadership, and we are definitely going to be connecting again with Stephanie. I'm personally excited. I'm a huge fan, Stephanie, of you. I'm a supporter.
Thank you.
Your awards, and I've been in business for about 20-something years, and I know what you're talking about. You know what? We have to figure it out. We have to get there, and when we get there, we want to bring everybody along. So
absolutely.
Thanks for being here, and we'll connect soon on our next session, which will be on the 22nd every month. So
thanks, Rosie.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.